What's good, YouTube? WWE here, back again once again. And today, people, today we are back for another WWE pay-per-view review. I know we're a few days late this time on it. Well, I'm gonna break the fourth wall and tell you guys, only time that we're ever late is whenever I watch the pay-per-view with, like, when people are at my house and whatnot, because then we don't get a chance to record then and there. And this weekend, Twit was over at my house, so, you know, we didn't just drop everything we were doing after the pay-per-view went off and run to go record a review. So I'm sorry, I apologize. And before anyone can ask, yes, the channel schedule will be back up to normal starting tomorrow. Again, I have people at my house, so I can get a chance to record, so you don't have to spam a comment section asking where is this series, where is that series. Everything will be back starting tomorrow. But we are here to discuss WWE Fastlane. I'm sorry, let me get my Michael Cole on and say that right. WWE presents Fastlane. And of course, we are joined by the Heat Mo.
I can't really do a car noise. Kaboom! There you go.
Meow.
I can't really do that. I don't know why.
Meow. In between every replay. Meow. Meow, meow, meow. We get it. We get it.
Shitty name. I'm sorry. It's a shitty name. Why?
It's not. It's like, I understand why they call it that, because you're on the fast lane of WrestleMania. But at the same time, it's kind of just like, it doesn't really feel like a pay-per-view name. If that makes sense.
Exactly. It seems like a fucking, I don't even know, to be honest.
It just doesn't really fit. But either way, Fastlane happened this past Sunday, and surprisingly enough, I will say the pay-per-view was expectedly mediocre, to say the most, to say the least. It was expectedly mediocre, but I think we got a lot more out of it than we expected, especially so much more than what was actually promoted. Say that much. And of course, we are recording this after the Monday Night Raw afterwards, so we understand what happened with a few storylines to go from there. So we'll talk about it objectively going from there on out. But to start things off, the first thing that really angers me and upsets me: why is the Fastlane kickoff a 2 out of 3 falls match?
For the U.S. title.
For the U.S. title. That is the kickoff match.
That is really sad, honestly. I think the U.S. title in itself should be like the third last match or middle match of the card, but no, it is the kickoff show
now,
for whatever reason.
The whole idea behind giving John Cena the U.S. title this past summer was to bring some hype, some prestige back to the title, which, in my opinion, well, I don't know. I'm an older wrestling fan, so to me, I still see it as a mid-card title, and I don't think it really lost any prestige at all. I don't think John Cena really gave it anything either, but either way, if that was the whole notion behind giving Cena the title and having all this, why is it now the kickoff show? You can't even put it on the regular broadcast. It's the kickoff show. Kalisto defending his U.S. Championship in a 2 out of 3 falls match against Alberto Del Rio. Again, Alberto Del Rio made a huge triumphant return this past fall, winning the U.S. Championship from John Cena because John Cena needed to take time off. So, why is this the kickoff show?
Dude, free content, it's free promotion for WWE. I don't fucking know. It just, Alberto Del Rio was a quote-unquote, like, upper mid-carder. There we go. He was an upper mid-carder in his first run for the WWE. After a little bit, he got his little push with Rey Mysterio, and then now he's back, and nobody really cares, unfortunately. He puts out heat matches with Kalisto, and now he's running kickoff shows. I like the little rivalry they've had. It's very reminiscent of Rey and Del Rio from a few years back. And if WWE wants to make Kalisto into the next Rey, why is he defending his U.S. title on the pre-show? Like, it even sounds like a pay-per-view quality match. It's a 2 out of 3 falls match. Why is this just on the kickoff? Either way, going past that, it wasn't a terrible match, to say the least. I was kind of upset with the whole chair shot to instantly give a fall to Kalisto, and JBL tried his hardest to run that storyline of Alberto Del Rio grew up wrestling 2 out of 3 falls matches, so he knows it's not the first fall that counts, it's the last 2. Like, that's just what? Like, what? Like, I would expect, if this is supposed to have any sort of finality to the storyline, I would expect something more than just a chair shot automatically giving Kalisto
the first fall. And what disappointed me even more was the missed opportunity. I felt it was either a botch or it was just a missed opportunity altogether when Alberto Del Rio did the super inverted suplex, whatever the fuck you want to call it, off the top rope. I thought it was going to be the Salida del Sol off the top rope. That would have been a perfect fucking spot. Off the top rope. It literally looked like that was what was going to happen. But it didn't happen. And the Salida del Sol didn't happen at all.
I think
Kalisto got his final fall off a fucking roll up.
I think they took it to 2 out of 3 falls match, and they put it on the kickoff show, and I think they essentially were just like, you know, don't do anything crazy because it's on the kickoff show. We have bigger plans for you. Maybe that's why they had a lower quality match. But at the same time, I just like the chair shot thing at the beginning was okay if it was like a Monday Night Raw match. You know, it was one of those like 20-minute Raw matches or whatever. But I don't know. I think either Del Rio doesn't care as much, or I think maybe it was the fact that it was a pre-show match they didn't have to do as much. I don't know. You got to take the match for what it is, I guess. It's just supposed to be a pre-show match, nothing crazy maybe. So I don't know. I think it was an okay match to say the least. It could have been better, and it could have been much lower, way lower on the card, but protect your investment.
I think so as well. I think it could have been. It should have been on the card, especially considering the first actual matchup on the card. But for a kickoff show, it wasn't bad. It was a better kickoff show than what we've seen recently. Overall, I would give the match like a 3. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 just because I'm happy that Kalisto retained. Still, I would have liked to have seen one of his falls go to the Salida del Sol. Like, that's one of the reasons that you want to watch Kalisto, is you want to see all this high-flying shit. It's a fucking dope-ass finisher and shit, and we don't even get to see it in the match. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5.
I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. It was okay. It was like, I like the storyline, or what the storyline is very like, it's not an amazing storyline or anything, but I like some of the spots they've been putting on the storyline and all of that, so I'll give the 0.5 for the storyline they've had, and Del Rio and Kalisto just work well together as is, so I'll give it 3.5.
Well, moving on to the actual show, the opening match was Sasha Banks teaming with Becky Lynch to take on Naomi and Tamina. And I don't like this at all. To start things off, I don't like this at all. And I don't understand why this wasn't the pre-show match. Like, you could have opened the show with a 2 out of 3 falls match. Why is a Divas like, again, props to WWE for launching and opening the show with a Divas match. Don't get me wrong. I think that's great. I think that's hype. But just looking at the caliber of the matches themselves, a 2 out of 3 falls match for the U.S. Championship after we did all this work to bring some prestige back to the U.S. title, or a Divas match? Which one goes on the pre-show? Which one? That's my first qualm with
that.
This.
That could have been a pre-show kickoff show match.
It should have been. That's my first qualm with this. Now, before anyone puts little asterisks or anything, no, I don't want Sasha Banks to be on the pre-show. She was on a pre-show. I don't remember which pay-per-view it was a few months back. I was complaining about her being on the pre-show. So I don't want her on the pre-show. But when it comes down to those 2 matches, I would prefer her to be on the pre-show then, because that's more of a pre-show match than 2 out of 3 falls to the U.S. Championship. At the same time, I don't like this matchup for Sasha Banks. I've been saying it for months now. Pay-per-view review after pay-per-view review, the crowd cannot get enough of Sasha Banks. I understand she was out on injury for a little while, but she came back at the Royal Rumble. So, explain to me this. Why is it after after Charlotte beats Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble, Sasha Banks comes out, making it clear and known, hey, I am next in line. I'm coming for that Divas Championship. So why, 3 weeks later, do we have Charlotte versus Brie Bella? Daniel Bryan?
Is
it just Daniel Bryan?
It could
because
be
Daniel
just
Bryan
Daniel
retired.
Bryan.
Daniel Bryan retired, so they're trying to ride that Daniel Bryan hype wave. But guess what? Brie Bella is not Daniel Bryan. And I don't understand why you just tossed a perfectly good storyline to the side just to have Charlotte versus Brie Bella. I mean, Charlotte beat Nikki Bella time and time again, and Nikki Bella is obviously the more athletic, the better wrestler of the two. So what chance does Brie Bella have? And if anything, if they did want to go with the whole Daniel Bryan gimmick just to ride that hype wave, Brie Bella should have at least won.
She could have captured the title, retire with that title.
She could have taken the title, and if you want to do that, she could have taken the title, retired with it, so that it became vacant, and you had a match between Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky Lynch at WrestleMania for it. Great. That would have been awesome. You could have had her win it and then lose it at WrestleMania and have Charlotte pick it up, or whatever. But the whole idea behind riding the hype train of Daniel Bryan just to get Brie Bella a championship match, the crowd wants Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks is here. And Charlotte has been molded into this perfectly devilish heel champion. She plays the role so well. And Sasha, in years, I have not seen a women's wrestler go over as well as Sasha fucking Banks. People lose their goddamn mind.
She goes over, and they're not even putting her in storylines that get her over. That's the thing.
There are cross-dressers in the audience dressed as Sasha Banks. That's how fucking much they love her. And every fucking pay-per-view, they're chanting, "We want Sasha." So why did Sasha Banks come out at the Royal Rumble, pretty much making her presence known, and now it's Sasha and Becky versus Naomi and Tamina? Now, I know we haven't even gotten to the matchup yet. These are just things that bother me about it. Okay, so I understand the whole Sasha needs to break away from Team Bad thing. I get it. I understand that. But I think we should scroll forward 2 or 3 months and place that storyline there. I don't understand why Sasha came out of the Royal Rumble, kicked Becky out of the ring, but now she's teaming with Becky. And they twist this whole storyline of Sasha doesn't need friends. She's not friends with Becky. She just doesn't like to lose, so she's gonna team with Becky to beat her former teammates.
I will put it this way. I think it's just filler. Obviously, I mean, you could have had a fucking 8-week rivalry between Banks and Charlotte. I think that would have been cool too, like an 8-week long rivalry. You could have had a match between Charlotte and Sasha Banks at Fastlane. People would have loved that. Had Ric Flair interfere and help Charlotte retain her title. That would have driven the crowd wild. Because Sasha, she would have had it. She would have had it, but it's snatched away. Then at WrestleMania, Ric Flair barred from the ringside or whatever. If Ric Flair interferes, then the title changes hands, whatever. And that's when you could have had the moment where Sasha comes through. But now it's like you had the perfect setup at the Royal Rumble, but then you just have this what the fuck? All of a sudden it's 2 different storylines. I'm guessing they're gonna put them back together. Rumor has it that it's going to be Sasha, Charlotte, and Becky at WrestleMania, which I don't really understand why Becky is included there at all. She lost at the Royal Rumble. Sasha dumped her ass out of the ring. And the whole ending to the Divas tag match was that Sasha had the bank statement locked in and Becky had the armbar locked in, so they had them both tap simultaneously. But I still don't understand how that propelled Becky into the main event storyline. You know, WWE is just the I wouldn't mind a triple threat between those 3. I think they would put out a hell of a show, honestly. But at the same time, it's like it doesn't make sense. That's all. It's like what they did with Raw and Shane McMahon. Everything looks good, but what the fuck? Doesn't make any sense. You just put it up, like they literally took like 2 pieces of Play-Doh, put them together, and mixed them up. And that's it.
I think it's just the whole want to ride off the Daniel Bryan momentum. So they delayed the Sasha Banks storyline and rushed the Sasha versus Naomi storyline. Because to me, in my mind, it would make sense. You have Sasha versus Charlotte. Charlotte comes out of WrestleMania. I mean, Sasha comes out of WrestleMania with the win. You could have a rematch at Payback or whatever, where Sasha goes over Charlotte again, and then have Sasha versus Naomi. You know, where Naomi's clearly jealous because Sasha was a part of Team Bad, now she's champion. But I mean, I guess they kind of did that with Paige already, but still, it would have worked perfectly. You could have had Naomi versus Sasha for the women's title, and then at SummerSlam have the triple threat with Sasha, Becky, and Charlotte. That would have made more sense. But either way, enough about the nitpicking for the matchup. Like I said, it bothered me so much. Like, why do we have this huge diversion? This isn't Fastlane, this is a detour.
The detour.
So and that's what they should have called the fucking pay-per-view. But either way, back to the matchup. The matchup itself really... I guess I was just so disappointed over just how it came to be, more so than anything, that there really wasn't anything that they could have done that would have really blown me away. I think Naomi is a great worker and she deserves a title run as well. But I really just want to see Sasha out of just this meaningless rivalries and put her in the Divas title scene, like I said a million times. Becky looked a lot better now than she did at Royal Rumble, in my opinion. A lot of people said the Becky versus Charlotte match at the Royal Rumble was really, really good, but I thought it was kind of loose and sloppy, to say the least.
I liked it. I think it was a decent match. I think it was okay.
I think she looked a lot better here tonight than she did then. And like I said, the finish was nice as Sasha got the tap on Naomi, and Becky had, or was it the other way around? I don't remember, but Becky had the armbar on as well, so they got the double tap, so they came out looking strong. I enjoyed it. I would give the match 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I'd give it a 2.5. I think it was a mix up of storyline is 0.5. Would have been 3, but storyline is a negative 0.5. I'm sorry,
I would have given it a 2. Sasha Banks was an extra half a point just on her own.
It was okay. I think it was okay, but it could have been a lot better. And Tamina, sorry, but you need to.
I want to see Tamina versus Alicia Fox.
You need to go back to
WrestleMania.
NXT. I'm sorry, you need to go to NXT.
She's muscle, bro. She's
muscle. Okay, you want to look at muscle? You
look at Brock Lesnar.
I can't do it. Brock
Lesnar.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyways, moving on down the card, you guys. Up next, we have the Intercontinental Championship. As your new Intercontinental Champion, Kevin Owens defends against Dolph Ziggler. Why we have Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler for the 70,000th time? This pay-per-view is supposed to be called Fastlane, not Detour. So this is another match that I have to start with by saying I don't like this. Somebody explain to me why Kevin Owens has the IC Championship again. Can you care to tell me, Mo?
So Dean Ambrose lost it in a fatal 5-way. DFK Howe. And then Kevin Owens got it. And then this little what the fuck storyline between Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler happened. Dolph Ziggler beat Kevin Owens, I think. Yeah, beat Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens then fought Dolph Ziggler at the, fought Dolph Ziggler at the, again on Raw. There we go. All of these are on Raw. Fought Dolph Ziggler on Raw, and SmackDown. And it was Kalisto and Owens, and then Ziggler gave Kalisto the win, and then Ziggler fought Owens, and then literally, you can hear the
pretty much
stuttering in my
big
voice.
ass
Doesn't make
confused.
sense.
It's a storyline that makes no sense. Again, it's like you wasted potential with Sasha Banks. You're wasting potential with Kevin Owens. And sure, there are going to be the people that are going to say, "Oh, Nappy, don't worry. WWE has plans for Kevin Owens. Just wait until WrestleMania or wait until after WrestleMania." What makes no sense to me? Why did you have Owens versus Ambrose? Why did Owens lose the title in the first place? Why? If he's just going to win it back in a random ass fatal 5-way matchup. It literally makes no sense. Why have a fatal 5? Just make it a fucking fatal 4-way. Tyler Breeze has been on SmackDown for 4 months now, and he gets an IC championship. I mean, I like Tyler Breeze, don't get me wrong, but there was no reason for him to be involved in that matchup. And at the same time, think back to this past summer. SummerSlam. Seth Rollins wins the US Championship from John Cena. You have a double champion. The very next pay-per-view, John Cena wins it back. What was the point? Can anyone tell me what was the point in Seth Rollins having the US Championship?
Ratings, maybe?
What was the point? Now, fast forward. Kevin Owens loses the IC Championship to Dean Ambrose. Royal Rumble. Last man standing for the IC Championship. Kevin Owens loses again. Dean Ambrose retains the IC Championship. If that's not a note of finality, if a last man standing match is not the fucking period on the sentence, what is? So then you fast forward a month and all of a sudden Kevin Owens wins it back. So why did Owens lose to Ambrose so many times? Why did he lose the IC Championship to begin with just to win it back? And how come Ambrose doesn't even get a rematch for it? Ambrose just goes straight to Fastlane and now it's him versus Brock. So am I being too nitpicky, or am I like, is these actual what the fuck moments that are happening?
I think everyone can agree. You can literally watch the live tweets of some people's Twitters on Raw while Raw's going on, and a lot of people are like, what the fuck is going on? Why is this and that?
What was the purpose in that? What was the purpose in Owens losing the title to begin with if he's gonna... Like, what was the purpose in Owens losing the title and then losing to Ambrose so many times just to win it back in a random-ass fatal 5-way match? And then 3 days later, he defends against Dolph Ziggler. What did Ziggler do to get a championship shot? He just challenged Kevin Owens? Like, what the... And what is that? What is Kevin Owens... Like, how is that the Kevin Owens character? Can we get Kevin Owens from NXT where he's not concerned about that? Like, go ahead.
I think what they need to do is they need to take these... I say it all the time, and you know what WWE did back in the day in, you know, what is it, the new generation era, like right after the golden era, they took these young superstars, right, and they elevated them, right? Because right now what they're doing is the same thing that WCW did back in the day. They're just literally taking all of these big ass dudes and making them win. And like all of these people that have been with the company and all these people that are liked, obviously not the level that WCW did it, but you know, superstars that are liked backstage or whatever, they just get the up end, and that's it. Everybody down south doesn't get anything. So what they need to do is look at their talent, listen to the audience, and build the storyline so people are invested. Even if it's like an okay storyline, it's an S storyline. That's how WWE is. Not all storylines are gonna be heat. Not all storylines are gonna be 5-star Battle of the Titans. Some of them are gonna be like, you know, just, you know, 2-star rivalries that nobody gives a shit about. Whatever, it's fine. But you know, I think they just need to get people invested. I think they're going for the shock value of like, whoa, a title change on Raw. What the fuck? You know, I think Raw is panicking and panicking and panicking and panicking, and I think they just need to sit there and be like, what makes sense?
Legend has it, if you panic enough, you will get a shoulder injury.
Whoa! And look at WWE now. Everyone's out.
I don't know. It's like I said, it's just everything leading up to the matchup just didn't make sense to me. I think my frustration comes more so from the fact that like my favorite wrestlers are just cast into these random ass shit ass storylines, and it just has this weird. I don't know. Moving on to the match itself, Kevin Owens versus Ziggler. I mean, what do you expect? We've seen this 8 times now. Literally, we've seen it 8 times now. I'm happy that Owens picked up the win, and he remains IC champion. Still doesn't make sense why he lost to begin with, but I'm happy that he retained. On top of that, it's kind of odd that the hometown Ziggler didn't win in his hometown. You think WWE would play up to that, but he lost. And it was even crazier, like you mentioned, WWE should listen to the crowd. Kevin Owens got a bigger pop than Dolph Ziggler did. in his own hometown. Kevin Owens got a bigger pop than Dolph Ziggler did.
And yeah, that's another thing. Ziggler is overused on Raw. Overused. They have him in everything. And DFKY. Legit. If you look at, what is it? How many matches and how many appearances Ziggler's had on Raw and not SmackDown to go and have a SmackDown rivalry, he's been on there too much. So they've been overdoing Ziggler. I don't like Ziggler as is, but okay, whatever. You know, that's fine. I'm not gonna completely just blow him off as like I fucking hate Ziggler. Ziggler's good. Okay, Ziggler is good. I don't like him, but Ziggler's okay. You know, I think that he had this Money in the Bank thing going on, whatever. You know, he has potential to be a part of whatever storyline he wants to be and do okay. I think Ziggler needs a break, you know, and I think what they need to do with Owens, like we've said, just move on. No more bullshit. No more bullshit. No more bullshit, WWE.
There weren't too many crazy ass spots in the matchup. Like we said, I call this pay-per-view detour, not Fastlane. Weren't too many crazy ass spots, and on top of that, we've seen the matchup 6 times over now. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 3 out of 5, just because I'm happy Owens is champion again. I'm happy Owens picked up a win, has some momentum going into WrestleMania.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5. I thought it was okay. I think the match itself is okay. Rivalry was just
We're done with it. Let's move on.
Move on.
Speaking of moving on, the next matchup on the card is an interesting one that has me kind of torn on how I feel about it. But we have a 6-man tag match, the Titans versus the Wyatt family, quote unquote Titans. We have Big Show teaming with Kane and Ryback versus Braun Strowman, Luke Harper, and Eric Wyatt. No, it was Eric Rowan. There we go.
Yeah.
Eric Rowan and Bray Wyatt, another upper mid card talent, not even booked in a match tonight, is just sitting on the outside of the ring. Props to Brian Saxton, though, who gave up his chair for the entire match. That nigga literally stood for the entire match because Bray Wyatt was sitting in his chair. But you had a ring full of big niggas, pretty much. Now, I'm sure you guys, if you've been paying attention to our SmackDown vs. Raw GMO versus, or to these pay-per-view reviews before, you guys know that I'm a fan of Big Show. So, I'm happy that Big Show did win. Or Big Show's team won, I should say, because I think Ryback was the one that actually got the pin. Ryback had a lot of cheeky moments in the match when he was doing the CM Punk knees in the corner. And he power slammed fucking Luke Harper 5 times.
He looked really strong.
I'm just saying that takes a lot of fucking endurance. I don't care if it's assisted or if it's fake or not. To do all that in the ring and the orders that he did there, that takes a lot for a big guy like him to get up and move like that. So props to Ryback for that. I like Big Show's spot where he lifted up Luke Harper and tossed him out of the ring on top of everybody. And then when Big Show got out of the ring and slammed into Braun Strowman with that shoulder tackle, my God, that was like a bus slamming into a Mack truck. That was insane. It was one of those moments where you could actually like see and feel the impact as these two big dudes just slammed into each other. So I don't know. It was kind of, it had a few good moments. But like I said, Ryback ended up getting the pin, so the Titans ended up winning. Big Show, Kane, Ryback. I like the fact that Big Show won. What I don't like I'm torn. It's a double-edged sword. I like the fact Big Show won because I like the Big Show. But at the same time, did he need to win that match? I think the Wyatt family needed that win more so than the Titans did.
The Wyatt family should have won.
Yeah, the Wyatt family lose every rivalry they're in. Especially considering the fact that Bray Wyatt, the leader, upper mid-carder of the group, wasn't doing anything at Fastlane at all.
So it's like,
as of right now,
Bray Wyatt, maybe?
The Wyatts have absolutely nothing scheduled for WrestleMania. So it's one of those things where you're just like scratching your head and you're like, okay. You know, that's how I was when I was watching it. It was like, I'm happy that Big Show won because I like the Big Show, but at the same time, it's like the Wyatts really needed the win more than the Titans did. So it's kind of like I said, it's a double-edged sword because I'm happy Big Show won, but I'm not happy that the Wyatts didn't win. Maybe WWE figured, you know what? No one wanted to see Taker versus Braun Strowman, so abandon Strowman. Fuck it. I heard that Strowman's supposed to get a push after WrestleMania. I think they might try and bring him to the main event, but I don't see it happening because Braun Strowman is just the fourth wheel of the Wyatt family. He's like Tamina. He's the hired muscle.
I feel bad because the Wyatts never really got elevated, ever. Like, legit, they've never been elevated at all. They're supposed to be...
They lose every rivalry.
They're legit supposed to be, like, you know, the new face of fear type of thing. You know, like, oh, whoa, Bray Wyatt, holy shit. Wow, he's like gonna be the next. Maybe the Undertaker. Once Undertaker's gone, he's gonna take that role. Maybe whatever. They need a dominant force on Raw. You know, not the Authority, but they need a dominant force outside of the Authority, and the Wyatts just lose. So it's like imagine watching a movie, imagine watching a movie and you're watching like some sort of superhero movie, and the superhero just wins first match, and it's like, oh, that's it? The villain's dead? Man. That's it? Villain's done? That's it? That's the story? Villain comes back, loses again. Oh, wow, I'm so invested. The superhero had no growth whatsoever. You know, it feels like that, and I feel like if they want, you know, more star power, like I said, and they want to do stuff, then stop. It sucks that I thought Ryback was gonna drop, but it sucks that happened because Kane and Big Show didn't need that win. Ryback kind of needed a win, but at the same time, it's okay if he took that loss. You know, it's not gonna completely kill his character because it's like, oh my god, it's the Wyatts. Holy shit. But no, the Wyatts are just the social outcasts with a gimmick.
Damn. I think they should put Kane and Big Show back together as a tag team and put Kane and Big Show versus the New Day. And I don't know, it's one of those things that really, and again, I think this is just the generational differences of people watching now versus when I really got invested into wrestling. Because when I got invested into wrestling, you know, I've been watching wrestling for 10 years, Mo. Because the first WrestleMania that I saw was WrestleMania 22, and WrestleMania 32 is this year.
But Jesus.
That's crazy.
That's a long time.
Because at WrestleMania 22, Kane and Big Show were tag champions. They defended the championships, and that was a hype ass tag team. But I feel like if they brought that back, they would have a lot of momentum behind them. But even then, I feel like there's just like this group of people who just look at them as like the old timers, who need to just move on now. And it's like, I understand that. Don't get me wrong. I understand that, and I think they need to build up new tag teams and new stuff and whatnot. But at the same time, it's like, look at it for what it is. You know, don't look at the wrestlers as people who don't always look at it as like who needs a push versus who doesn't need a push. Look at it in the sense of what would end up with a good match. And I would love to see Kane and the Big Show, this dominant giant tag team, going up against the New Day. I think that'd be fucking hilarious. Hear the New Day crack jokes on the Big Show and Kane, have Big Show and Kane rough them up every once in a while, choke slam on the Francesca or some shit. That would be hype. I would like to see that. That would be hype. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't just always look at it in the sense of, oh, they're just dead and gone. They need to retire this, and that. Like, no. Big Show is still a good worker. Kane is still a good worker. The only reason
why they say that for Big Show, though, is because of how Big Show's been booked.
Yeah, it's trash.
Like, legit, they legit turned him, like, 20 billion times. So
yeah, he came out face this time.
Now anyone that liked the Big Show back in the day, right? Like, when he was actually hype on SmackDown, you know, he was a cool ass SmackDown wrestler and superstar. I think that was a good part for Big Show. Big Show was like the giant in WCW. Like, he had hype, and then they turned him 20 times, and then it's like, how can you get invested in someone that just kind of just does shit, and he's like, I hate you, and now I like you. Like, you can't really get behind a wrestler that literally changes roles every single time. It's bad because the people who want to cheer on a heel, or people who like heels, or the people are, you know, when you're supposed to boo a heel and they turn face and they just, it's a mess. I'm sorry, but Big Show.
How am I supposed to get behind a heel or a face if they don't know if they're heel or face?
Exactly. There you go.
I don't know. I like I said, it was a double-edged sword for this matchup for me. I like the fact that Big Show's team won because, again, I'm a huge fan of Big Show, but at the same time, I realized the Wyatts needed that win more than anyone else. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. It was definitely middle of the road. Like I said at the beginning of the review, it was a mediocre pay-per-view, And like I said, it's middle of the road. A 3 out of 5.
Yeah, give it a 3 out of 5. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Well, moving on, we have our third championship defense of the night, if you include the kickoff pre-show. We have Charlotte defending her Divas Championship against Brie Bella. Now, I know we spoke about this a little earlier during the Divas tag match. But again, can we point out how we have 2 Divas matches in one night? Most of the time, Divas matches last all of 3.5 minutes, and that's it for Divas on the card. But we had 2 Divas matches here tonight. I think WWE is finally starting to realize the star power they have, which, you know, I like it. I like it. I appreciate it. Just put Sasha in the main event. Anyways, Charlotte defending her Divas title against Brie Bella. Again, I think this is 100% just trying to ride Daniel Bryan. I mean, Brie Bella came out. I want you to know, I didn't even know Brie Bella had her own entrance music. I didn't know. I didn't know. Brie Bella! I didn't know. I've never heard it before. So Brie comes out and instantly starts the yes chant. And it's like, you're not Daniel Bryan. Stop that. You are Brie. You know, your thing is not yes, yes, yes. Your thing is Brie mode. Yeah. And Brie, how come you didn't channel Brie and get that fucking win? I don't have much to say about this match. I'm sorry. I really wanted this to be Charlotte versus Sasha instead, and Brie just no.
Question mark. That just...
Like I said, she tried to channel the whole Daniel Bryan thing. She even tried to do the kicks that he does as well. She even used the yes lock too and applied that onto Charlotte, and then did the whatchamacallit, a half Boston Crab locked in. But conveniently, she hurt her knee with a missile drop kick, so she couldn't hold the pressure, and Charlotte was able to reverse it into a figure 8 and retain. Convenience, right? So what was the point behind that?
I wish I could tell you. I really, really wish I could tell you why things are with these matches and these storylines, and just.
I think if they wanted to ride the Daniel Bryan hype train, I think they should have at least had Daniel Bryan come out with her. If Ric Flair can come out with Charlotte, where was Daniel Bryan?
But Brie's supposed to be a face. You can't have someone accompany a face.
Why not?
IDFK.
That's happened plenty of times. That has happened plenty of times. You know, if she's face and she's getting cheated over time and time again. I mean, look at Sasha Banks versus Naomi and Tamina. Charlotte, I mean, Sasha's the face. She had Becky come out and help her. And my whole thing is, if you're going to have Brie go after the title just because of the Daniel Bryan hype, then have Daniel Bryan come out with her. He will balance it out. So instead of it being Brie versus Charlotte with Rick, it's Brie with Daniel versus Charlotte with Rick. That would make more sense, and that would have gotten a crazy hype pop. People would have fucking shit their pants to see Daniel Bryan again.
WWE's maybe Daniel Bryan, maybe they wanted that to happen and just didn't, just because D-Bride doesn't want anything to do with that right now, or I wish I had the answer. I really do wish I had the answer for why things are.
I'm gonna give the match a 1.5 out of 5. Don't get me wrong, I like Charlotte. To me, it's the rush nature of the storyline, and the fact that they completely abandoned the Charlotte versus Sasha storyline just to do this because Daniel Bryan retired. I think it's trash. I love Charlotte. I think she's a great heel champion. It's just the match itself was just
I'll give it a 2.5. Not 1.5 is just
1.5. That was garbage. That was garbage. Garbage. Moving on, we have AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho.
This was good.
In what was probably match of the night. AJ Styles burst onto the scene at the Royal Rumble. And it was one of those things where, again, it doesn't make sense. Why AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho? Like, it's a great rivalry for AJ Styles' first rival in the WWE. It's great because I think it's two main eventers going at it. And this is a perfect example of what I was talking about before, when it was like, you can have a main event rivalry going on without the title involved, and it's still hype as shit. This is a perfect example of it right then and there. AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. I would say this was match of the night. Even though Chris Jericho almost killed AJ Styles twice. Dropped him right on his fucking neck twice. I think even though that happened, it was still match of the night. The only thing I didn't like, the only spot that I didn't care for was AJ Styles finally hit the Styles Clash, but Jericho kicked out of it.
That was only because they don't want the Styles Clash to be the finisher because it's banned or whatever. I think that's what's happening. So they changed it to the Calf Crusher, or was it? What is it called? The Calf Crusher?
His little submission thing.
Yeah, his little submission thing. I think he's gonna have a submission finisher over the Styles Clash just because it's a quote unquote dangerous move. They might even save the Styles Clash for maybe like WrestleMania type of things. Because apparently it's just too dangerous to hit all the time, and I can see why, because some people might mess it up, especially they don't want to take any risks, so I can understand why they had him kick out of the Styles Clash, which it sucks, but I think that just needed to be done. I don't support it, but I see where WWE is coming in from, especially with how many injuries they've had.
If that was the case, then why did he go for it at all?
Because
that's my thing. Because like the move is literally called Styles Clash. It is his move, and if you don't want the Styles Clash to be his finisher, then don't use it. If the Calf Crusher is going to be the finisher, then just use the Calf Crusher exclusively. But it doesn't make sense for the Styles Clash, which has been his finisher for a decade now. Like I can understand if you don't use it at all, fine. But if it's been his finisher for a decade, don't even use it at all. Don't use it and then have Chris Jericho kick out of this decade-old finisher that AJ Styles has won so many matches with. Like it's just like imagine if you had John Cena go for the FU and it was finality. It was like 10 minutes in the matchup, John Cena went for the FU and then someone kicks out of it. I'm not saying that people haven't kicked out of the FU before. It's just like how much of a finality the FU has that wins Cena the match. But then someone kicks out of it, and it's like, oh, well, that was kind of cool to watch, I guess. But really nothing happened with it. So I don't know. I didn't like the fact that Jericho kicked out of the Styles Clash. The Calf Crusher is dope as shit though. So if they do have to replace the Styles Clash with something, I'm perfectly happy with the Calf Crusher.
It works. I think I kind of agree with the Styles Clash thing. I think they just wanted to hype it up, use that AJ Styles hype and use every little avenue possible, and then just have him drop the Styles Clash once, and that's it. I think that was just a good send off for it, I guess. But I guess you're right. They didn't need to do anything with it. They could have just not promoted it at all. But
been perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I will say props to Chris Jericho. Whether he was actually in pain or not, he sold the fuck out of the Calf Crusher. Because I could actually see the pain on his goddamn face when he tapped. So props to him 100%. But still, you almost killed AJ Styles, bro. You gotta calm down.
Jericho hasn't won a match in like forever. And he won one match on SmackDown, and this is the best rivalry he's had in the past like 50 billion, past like couple years. So I think he wanted to make sure like, I can do shit, guys. I still got it. I'm Chris fucking Jericho.
I'd really like to see Jericho win at this year's WrestleMania. Obviously, Jericho is back fighting Styles right now, so that he is back on TV in order to build another rivalry for WrestleMania. But I'm sorry, ever since Jericho jobbed to Fandango at WrestleMania, I'm just like, bruh.
I think really? Jericho needs to be put in a match with Dean Ambrose or somebody that's upper mid card and have these wins on Jericho. Jericho wins these matches against these upper mid carders that WWE needs to push, right? So that Jericho keeps his hype. And on top of that, the other superstar gets elevated because it's like, oh my God, it's Chris Jericho. I'm scared. Type of shit. But at the same time, oh my God, I beat Chris Jericho. Everyone loves me.
What about Jericho versus Owens at WrestleMania? For the IC
Jericho
title?
versus Owens would be great too. That would be an amazing match.
I mean, I don't think. I think the only way to properly end that is to have Jericho win. Especially since Jericho's career doesn't have too many years left on it. I think one last good run with the IC title. As much as I don't want Kevin Owens to lose at WrestleMania, I think one last good IC run for Jericho, I think it would be perfect to do at WrestleMania.
I think Jericho Owens would be a good rivalry in general. I think if
I think it would be too.
I think they both have the charisma for that, and they both could definitely drop some amazing promos as well.
I think it'd be great. I think that's where this should go from here on out. Question is, well, then again, I think we should see Styles versus Owens at WrestleMania as well. AJ Styles successfully came out of this rivalry, so then you have Styles like, oh, by the way, you did eliminate me from the Royal Rumble, so I'm gonna take that IC title from you.
So I mean, he did beat Jericho, so that is a total option. I don't know what happened on Raw yesterday. Like, I don't know what the rivalry is right now.
Kevin Owens was not on Raw.
Kevin Owens was not on Raw?
He was not on Raw.
Huh?
Yep, he wasn't on Raw. So, that's what I'm saying. Everything's up in the air. Everything's up in the air as of right now.
Okay.
So. Anyways, I would give the match, honestly, it's Styles versus Jericho, the rubber match, 3 out of 3. I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, 4 out of 5.
I'm gonna be. That's me being generous. I feel like it should have been 3.5, but I'm gonna be generous. Give it a 4 out of 5 because I think if they end it here, it would be great. Don't drag this one out. Don't run it into the ground. You had a perfect series of 3 between 2 amazing wrestlers. 4 out of 5.
I think it was an amazing rivalry. Well, I wouldn't say it was amazing. It was an amazing SmackDown rivalry. Literally, SmackDown got views because of that. They ran the rivalry on SmackDown, which was that's a perfect example of a brand split working out. But you know, it's just that's a lot to talk about.
Exactly, Jericho style. That would have been amazing. That would have been amazing. All right, moving on down the card. Up next, we don't have a match, but more so a segment, which pretty much had the star power of a match. Obviously, we had the Edge and Christian Peep Show, which was there just to promote the new show. Edge and Christian show. It totally reeks of awesomeness. That was debuting after Fastlane. But their guests were the New Day. And it was kind of perfect because it was 2 birds, 1 stone. 3 birds, 1 stone, actually. Because Edge and Christian needed to promote it. They are known as tag champions. And at the same time, New Day has no opponents because they've shit on everyone else in the tag division. So they had no plausible matchup for Fastlane. So put those 2 together, wrap it up, and then introduce the League of Nations as well. So now New Day has an opponent. So I think at WrestleMania it's going to be New Day defending the tag titles against the League of Nations.
Well, Wade Barrett I think is leaving, but that isn't bad, but it's not good. I think I know I love soft and all, but let's take the soft side of the picture. I like that idea because it's New Day has no other opponents right now. The Dudleys are preparing a heel turn or have been riding this heel wave on SmackDown. But I think that's not a bad match because I think they could put out a decent match and maybe, just maybe, the League of Nations could be elevated and start looking powerful, but IDK. I don't think that. I
feel like WWE's not going to let the New Day lose at WrestleMania. So I think, I don't know. New Day versus League of Nations, it'll be impressive because it'll actually be someone who could step up and pose a real threat to their tag title reign. I think that'll be impressive to see. But at the same time, I feel like the League of Nations is above just the tag titles, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, you have a group of actual upper mid-carders all together, so I feel like they should be doing something more main event or lower in the card than just the tag titles.
Snag the tag titles, have Biggie get this big push, go for the world title, and have Kofi go for the No. That would never happen with New Day. New Day's too goofy to have a serious title reign like that, where you have the tag titles, Woods is U.S. champion, Kofi's IC champion. Well, maybe have them have 1 mid-card belt, I think.
Nah, I think if anything, we spoke about that working for the Wyatt family before. I think that could be something that works for League of Nations. Put the world title back on Sheamus, have Del Rio get his US championship back, have Barrett be IC champion, and then Rusev and Barrett can be tag champions or some shit.
Best thing is, you don't need the crowd to cheer for them.
That would be hype. They could be this huge heel force on the show on Raw. I don't know. It would be interesting to see. But I think, Mo, you're right. A lot of people wanted Soft to debut. I think Soft versus New Day would be an absolute amazing rivalry. But apparently they're supposed to come up after WrestleMania, so
I think it would be hyped. Well, I don't. Then again, it's like, are you gonna throw Soft really on WrestleMania as soon as they debut? I think that's backstage politics. Just
no, they're supposed to like the Raw after WrestleMania.
No, I know. They could have done it at Fastlane, right? But at the same time, I think it kind of makes sense that it didn't happen at Fastlane because it's like backstage politics. Let's not put NXT superstars right into WrestleMania. We're not ready for that kind of shit. They could have done it, but I don't think it would have worked for the general audience.
No, because like I said, New Day's not gonna lose. I don't know. They might. It depends on how the storyline they want it to go. But I can't see New Day, who are one of the biggest or one of the most over stables on the roster right now, heel or not. I can't see them losing at WrestleMania. I can't.
They have to lose it in like the most shitty way possible.
And
like,
that would absolutely crush Soft if they debuted and got one huge pop and then just got destroyed at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's probably why my dreams were crushed. But now that I think about it, it's good that Soft didn't debut.
There you go. So, I mean, can we give a rating to a segment?
No, because that was a segment. That was a segment.
I mean, it was nice to see Edge and Christian again.
5 advertisements out of 5.
There you go. Blatant product placement.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, we have a pathetic way to fill 3 hours.
0 out of 5. Next match. For real, we can't talk about it. I didn't watch it. Nobody watched it. Nobody cared. Trust me, nobody cared about this match. It's okay. We can talk about the main event.
So, you had the Social Outcasts come out. And keep in mind, this is in hour 3 of the pay-per-view.
Could have been the kickoff.
This could have been the beginning of the fucking show. But in hour 3 of the goddamn broadcast, out comes the Social Outcasts, aka the Job Squad, talking about how they're all different cars in the Fastlane to WrestleMania. And when Adam Rose said that he was gonna be at WrestleMania, I busted out laughing. I was like, nigga, you ain't gonna do shit at WrestleMania outside of being a jobber in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Shut the fuck up and go home. But for whatever reason, we decided that we were gonna have R-Truth versus Curtis Axel. In the 3rd hour of Fastlane, R-Truth versus Curtis Axel. So the match is whatever it is. There's nothing crazy that happens. But Goldust ends up coming out, and Goldust came out in an attempt to help R-Truth, obviously, because Goldust wants to be in a tag team with R-Truth, calling themselves the Golden Truth, which I think could be a pretty funny tag team. I think it could be.
R-Truth isn't doing anything, so
exactly, it could be comedic relief for the show. It would be just like Goldust and Booker T back in the day. So I could see it happening. So Goldust comes out to help R-Truth the numbers game, which R-Truth pointed out himself at the beginning of the match. And inadvertently, Goldust tossed Adam Rose into the ring, distracting R-Truth, allowing Curtis Axel to get the roll-up pin. So R-Truth, of course, is upset at Goldust, and I just hope they paid Goldust enough money to put all that makeup on for 4.5 minutes. And that was the end of that. Still no Golden Truth. So how would you rate this matchup, Mo?
0 out of 5.
0 out of 5. I will give it a 0.5 out of 5, just because there's a part of me that can see the humor behind Golden Truth. So I kind of want to see where it goes, but I do not like the Social Outcast one bit. I'm over them. So, anyways, with that abomination out of the way, moving on to the main event.
This was
of
before
WrestleMania.
the main event. The last match was before the main event. Why?
This was what led into the main event. Maybe they did that just to make the main event feel better, like you were getting a better match out of it.
Oh God.
But I called that an abomination. But to be honest, the main event was just as much of an abomination. We have a triple threat #1 contenders match for Triple H's WWE World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. You have Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar. And again, this is a complete and total waste of a date for Brock Lesnar. If you only have a certain number of dates for Brock Lesnar, why would you waste it on this? I wouldn't say it was so much of a waste.
Out, though.
I wouldn't say it was so much of a waste of a date. It's a waste of a match. Because if you think about it, if you could build a Brock Lesnar storyline going into WrestleMania, why? I mean, I guess at the end of the day, we have Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar. Yeah. But still, it was one of those things. It's just like, well, even then, how did it work? Didn't Roman Reigns pin Dean Ambrose?
Yeah.
So why is Dean mad at Brock? Why is Brock mad at Dean?
Brock is mad at Dean because of the table shit, I think. And I think he's taking it out.
Technically, Roman Reigns put Brock Lesnar through the table.
You know, you're right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yes, we did get a decent match, but the match in and of itself makes no sense because on top of that, again, I guess the whole rematch clause is just out the window because Roman Reigns never got his rematch after he lost the title at the Royal Rumble. So, makes sense, right? Makes sense, right? And was Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar involved in this just to fill the spot and to create their own rivalry? Because why would either one of them have any chance at winning if we all know the rivalry is between Roman Reigns and Triple H?
If I knew, I would tell you. If I knew.
And we got no Wyatt family interference. The Wyatts banded together to eliminate Brock at the Royal Rumble, and we had nothing come of that. Perfect storyline opportunity right there. Nothing came of it. And Bray Wyatt still is not doing a goddamn thing. Either way, when it comes to the match itself,
it was okay.
As much of an abomination as it was, it ended up being a bit better than I expected. They did end up reuniting as a little mini Shield to put Lesnar through not one but two announce tables, and then they dumped the announce table parts on top of him to give Brock a nap outside the ring because, you know, he's good for about 4 hits before he's done. So that was a nice, you know, put him through 2 announce tables, and then when Roman Reigns had Dean Ambrose up for the Samoan drop and Lesnar came out of nowhere and German suplex both of them at the same time, that was kind of hype. I'm not gonna lie. Lesnar's a fucking monster.
You know, the match itself, honestly, I was really hyped. I like the whole they put Lesnar away, brothers fighting thing. That was really fucking cool. I love that because it was kind of like what they did with Payback back in 2015 with the Fatal 4-Way. They used Randy Orton. You know, they kind of had the little mini Shield thing. Those are always good. You know, I think when they do these little reunited things, you know, it puts people back in the age of the Shield, and you know, people always like that. And then nothing came out of it though. In terms of like Reigns going for Reigns and Ambrose fighting, I was really hoping for a turn in one or the other because Roman Reigns, once again, quote unquote face, got booed again, which sucks if they want him to be against quote unquote a heel Triple H, but doesn't work out. So no heel turn from either Reigns or Ambrose, which would have benefited both of them in some way, shape, or form. Ambrose turning heel would have been like, oh wow, Reigns about to kick this dumbass's ass or some shit. I don't know. They could have done something like that, but they just took the safe approach. Reigns went over and didn't pin Lesnar because Lesnar's too strong to be pinned, and it was too safe. It was like, it's kind of like the safe booking of TLC. everything likes to be safe, and the golden boy Roman Reigns is gonna be a 3-time WWE champion at WrestleMania. Woo! Because it's obvious, and it makes me sad.
I don't know. It's kind of shitty. It's really kind of shitty to end it that way. I mean, like you said, they took the safest approach, really, with the entire card, the entire night. The next night on Monday Night Raw, of course, we have Lesnar versus Ambrose happening in a street fight.
I like that.
At WrestleMania.
That was good.
So I mean, it's gonna be a decent match, but still, I feel like we all knew it was gonna happen. So that's why I say it was a waste of a date. I guess you could sit there and say, sure, it spawned the Dean Ambrose Brock Lesnar rivalry, but Lesnar had no place being in the matchup. Dean Ambrose had no place being in the matchup. Again, if anything, you could have had Triple H versus Roman Reigns. You know, everyone is so happy that Triple H won the Royal Rumble, and everyone says, oh, it should have ended that way. Okay, now we have a WWE champion who shows up for the last 3 minutes of the show and hasn't wrestled since the Royal Rumble.
It's Triple H. He's the... I don't fucking know.
So it just, I don't know. It is what it is. Roman Reigns, we all know, is going to win at WrestleMania, and hopefully people will cheer him. I don't see how they're going to cheer him, especially when Triple H, who is supposed to be built as the heel in this rivalry. I feel like when it comes to someone who is as over as Triple H is, who has the history that Triple H does, I feel like the only way that he can properly play a heel is if he's going up against someone who is taken just as seriously as he is. And Roman Reigns is not that. So it's unfortunate.
It's a huge shame, to be honest with you. It's a huge... Reigns he got booed. I mean, he got cheered and then got booed because they completely ruined him at the Royal Rumble, and then just...
And that's sad too, because at the Royal Rumble, people actually cheered for him.
Yeah, they were happy, and then I
think they were happy because it was one of those things where it's like, okay, finally Reigns got the title. I'm happy for him. Finally, he got this. We're done. What's gonna happen next? JK, not really. We're right back to the same old, where Roman Reigns is just working his way back up to the... I don't know. It is what it is. I would give the match, being nice, a 3 out of 5. I enjoyed the table spots and Lesnar's suplexes.
I think it was a 3.5. I think it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I love Dean Ambrose. Love Brock Lesnar. And I'm sorry, Reigns. I am leaving the Empire. Empire.
Damn.
I can't get behind him. Heel turn, or I'm just gonna have a bad taste in my mouth and wait for Seth Rollins to come back.
Well. Fastlane overall, what would you rate it?
3 out of 5. It's very 2.5 to be honest with you.
I was gonna say I'm gonna give it a 2.5 out of 5. We really didn't get any growth from anyone out of it. Everything that was going into Fastlane was the same coming out of Fastlane. Nothing, no titles changed hands. Nothing important happened. We got one or two little rivalries that started. One or two rivalries that started on Raw the next night, but we really didn't get much of anything else out of it. So Fastlane was just, like I said, it was a detour. Fast lane, more like fast lame.
We took the exit lane. Oh no! It was They went on the highway and they forgot to pack water bottles, so they went to the gas station and they took the next exit route, went to the gas station. That was fast lane.
That's an interesting.
They stopped, picked up some extra shit, and they're back on the road, and it's a very good road. I'm liking WrestleMania so far. So,
alright.
The Raw after was better than the whole pay-per-view from Fastlane.
Pretty much. I think what we might do, you guys, we might have a before and after WrestleMania review, since WrestleMania is supposed to be big shit. So like the week before WrestleMania, we might once more the card is finalized. I'll say
WrestleMania
so right now we have
predictions.
3 matches out of 8 or 9. But once more the card becomes finalized, we'll do a review of what we think is going to happen and how we want to see WrestleMania play out, and then of course we'll do a review afterwards when it comes to WrestleMania. And if you guys enjoy that, I don't know, maybe we could do that for all pay-per-views. I don't know. I just thought it would be something nice and special for WrestleMania, but that'll be the next time we see you guys. Of course, NXT TakeOver Dallas is happening at WrestleMania week as well, which is like the first TakeOver event in like 3 months, 4 months.
It sucks because NXT's been kind of filler as of late.
NXT has been really filler as of late. But either way, we will see you guys in a month or so for the next WWE pay-per-view review. Thank you all so much for watching. Let us know in the comment section below what you thought of each match at Fastlane 2016 and what you thought of the pay-per-view overall as a whole. And of course, check out Mo's channel and Twitter, both of which are linked in the description below. But if you guys enjoyed, definitely make sure you smash your like button down below for us. But we're going to get about this bitch. Thank y'all once again for your support, and thank you for checking out the video. We out this bitch. Bye!
Don't do drugs, kids.